In this economy, growing any business is tough enough, but when it is your very own business that you've poured your heart and soul into, well, it's no easy task. What's worse, you yourself could be the reason your business isn't growing as fast as you would like. Here to expand further on exactly what I mean are Doug and Polly White, authors of the book, Let Go to Grow. I have to say, I love that title.
Thank you.
It makes so much sense. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So this is your first endeavor here. Tell us how you came together to write about these kinds of topics.
Well, in our management consulting business, what we found was that a lot of our clients, their businesses were struggling.
And so we decided to try and figure out what was causing this. We actually interviewed and analyzed more than 100 small businesses to try and figure out why some businesses were able to thrive and others stalled out well short of their potential.
And once we did these,
really?
yes, and once we did these interviews, we decided we really needed to put this all together in something that would be great for small business people.
And share the information.
Absolutely.
That makes complete sense. Okay, so then the book has now come to life, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What can we expect to learn from this book?
Well, really two things. The first is we learned that as a business grows, the owner or the principal has to let go of certain tasks as that business grows. And if he or she doesn't, then he or she will become the constraint to the business.
Right, and the other thing that we learned is that the principal or that owner's skill set is going to have to morph along the way. So what's important when you're a tiny one-person startup with maybe a helper or two, those skills are going to be dramatically different than what you need when you're, say, a robust mid-sized business with several employees and managers and supervisors.
Well, is that hard? Because I have a lot of friends who have their own small businesses, so I have a little bit of experience there. But it would seem like it's almost like giving your baby away, and that's got to be hard to do. I'm hoping that maybe you kind of help us deal with that and make that possible.
Well, there are a couple of transition points. Let's focus on the transition from a small business to a mid-sized business, because that's where there's a layer of managers between the principal and those doing the primary work of the business.
Right, and this goes to what you were talking about, that feeling of giving your baby away, because at that transition point, when there is now a layer between the owner and those primary workers, those people who are dealing with the customers on the day-to-day basis, that's when you lose a measure of control over the business unless you've put the proper infrastructure in place.
You lose some control because you have to delegate decision-making authority.
Well, and I think the hard part, I've seen it work and not work for some people, is finding the right people to trust to take on that. Isn't that, you know, without trying to micromanage because you feel like, you know, I'm not sure if I trust this person yet. I mean,
we say that there are three things that you need in order to be able to delegate effectively. The first is exactly what you said. You've got to have the right managers in place.
Right, and these people have to be well trained. You have to know who they are. And there's a couple different ways to get managers in your business. One is to grow your own. I call that the make versus buy decision. The make is I'm going to hire people who have potential and then train them and develop them over the years so that when I have a management position available, then I have somebody who's able to step into it.
That's a great idea.
The second thing you need is documented process. You actually have to write down the way you want things done. It's how you communicate to your employees the way you want them to do their work.
Right, and the final thing you need, which is what allows a business owner to actually sleep at night, is a good set of metrics. And this goes well beyond the normal, what we call the P&L statements, the income, income balance sheet and cash flow statements.
The scary parts of it.
Right.
And also, isn't it true that you should sort of like a relationship, bring in people that maybe have a skill set that you yourself don't exactly, I mean, do you want to try to complement each other, or should you try to know everything first before you start?
Well, absolutely. As your business grows and it develops further, I say the owner can't know absolutely everything. And so sometimes you have to go outside of your organization to buy talent, and sometimes bringing in that talent, and we do talk about that in the book too, sometimes bringing in that external talent with skill sets that are beyond yours can take your business to the next level.
All right. Well, that's perfect, because you've answered some questions just in talking to you. I can only imagine what great information is there. Let's get the information out to everyone that they can go to your website, whitestonepartnersinc.com, to get that book. And I'm so glad you were here because I've learned a great deal. Thank you for stopping in and visiting in with us.
Thank you for having us.